What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have something interesting in the garage. It's not a Mustang, it's not a Demon, it's not a Hellcat, it's not a Trackhawk, it's not a Magnum. It is a Dodge Charger, not a Hellcat, but a Scat Pack. You can tell by these logos right here. So actually, this is a subscriber of ours, probably not of mine anymore because I drive a Mustang. But he is a subscriber of Kevin's for sure, and he has brought to us his Dodge Charger Scat Pack. Now you may be wondering, why is there a Scat Pack taken apart in your garage? Well, that's because Misa is in town of Illustrious Auto Styling. He's actually wrapping a few cars. He used to live with us, but he took a break from California to come wrap some cars back in Texas. So he's in Texas for a little bit. He's actually wrapping a few cars. This car is the first car that he'll actually be wrapping. He will be wrapping the Mustang. However, I have not revealed that color, and hopefully I get the Mustang running soon so that he can wrap it. But I thought I'd talk about this really cool Dodge Charger Scat Pack. Now there is a few options that you can get with these Dodge Chargers. There's a little different variation. You know, you have the Scat Pack, the 392, the Hellcat version, and now you can get the wide body. And then they have a special Daytona version out. I mean, there's just 6 to 7 different variations. That's not even including the V6 models. These are just the V8 models. So there's a lot of options you can get. But I always thought that the Charger was probably like the best four-door car that you could get for the money. Now, when the Hellcat first came out, they're like $70,000. I still think they're around $60,000 to $70,000. But if you didn't need 707 horsepower in your four-door vehicle, you could get something like a Scat Pack or a 392. So this specific Dodge Charger is actually just a Scat Pack. Now, I've read on the Scat Packs, and pretty much essentially everyone just says this is an RT with a 6.4 liter Hemi. Now, if you would have got the SRT 392 version, it wouldn't have the Scat Pack symbols. It would actually have SRT symbols on all the seats, and you would have the Laguna leather. This has the Alcantara on the inside and has the leather on the outside. This has 4 piston brakes in the front and actually 2 pistons in the rear. Now, if you got an SRT 392, you would actually have 6 piston in the front and 4 piston in the rear, which is actually very similar to a Hellcat. They both share the same motor, same 8-speed auto transmission. However, I do believe that these transmissions, these autos, are not the exact same one in the Hellcat. Same 8-speed, but not as strong as the Hellcat. Now, for some of you that are new, might be wondering, like, how do you know all this about Hellcats? And why do you have all these Mopars in your garage? Well, I previously had a Hellcat that went 9.5s at like 3,000 DA. Which is pretty good. If you don't understand DA, that's a low 9-second car in really good weather. But that's neither here nor there. But I did have a Hellcat for a long time, and I modded it pretty extensively, I would say, in the Hellcat community. But I got bored with that and got a Mustang, and you may make a comment down below, but that's okay. So, back to the video. Misa is wrapping this one. I believe it's called Smoldering Red, which is a super cool color. I believe this is the color that Stradman just wrapped his Supra. If not, it's a very, very similar red, but that's going to look really good on this four-door Scat Pack. Now, here's the deal. For those people that are interested in buying any of these Dodge Chargers, like I was saying before, this is the best four-door vehicle you can get, because even with these, you're sub 500 horsepower, you've got a V8, It's rear-wheel drive. If you get the SRT 392, you've got adjustable suspension. You've got a little bit bigger brakes. You essentially have a Hellcat with less horsepower. Now, if you want to save even more money and get a Scat Pack, you don't get as big of brakes, you don't get the adjustable suspension, but you still get a V8, a larger V8, because in an RT you get something like 5.7 liter Hemi, which is actually what's in my truck. So these are definitely some of the best bang for your buck four-doors. Now, if you can spend a little bit more and get yourself a Hellcat, you've really got the best bang for your buck four-door. Please comment down below what four-door vehicle you can get with over 700 horsepower for under 70 grand. There's not very many choices, and you know, vehicles that are very similar would be something like a Chevy SS. Now the Chevy SS, very cool car when it first came out, but the problem with the Chevy SS is it doesn't come with very much power. Now here's the thing, people may comment, well, you can throw an LSA blower on it. We're talking stock for stock. I always and I will always firmly believe and agree with my brother that Dodge comes out with the best factory vehicle. Now, if you want to start modding these Hemis, such as these 6.4 liter V8s, they aren't the best to mod. They can only take like 5 to 7 pounds of boost before you start popping the motors on these. So they're not the strongest to mod. However, with something like headers, intake, exhaust, and maybe some better fuel, get this thing close to 500 to the wheels, maybe a little bit over. You're talking about a pretty quick car, but the problem is that these are about 4,400 pounds dry, and that's a heavy vehicle, and that's what Dodge has always been known for. Anything Mopar, it's always going to be on the heavier side. I mean, look at this 840 horsepower boat, but they usually make up for it with power and with comfortability. Like, look how large this four-door is. It comes with a nice 8.4-inch screen, really cool displays up here. Obviously, the car's kind of taken apart because Misa's wrapping it, but these cars are very roomy. Kevin and I have taken his Charger Hellcat, same vehicle, just with more power, but his Charger Hellcat, we've taken it to like California, Vegas, Arizona. I mean, we've been all over the place in that car, and I will say, the big bolstered seats are super comfortable. Yes, the vehicles are large. You feel like you're driving Titanic, but you don't want to sink. They're awesome vehicles. They're just heavy. They're not meant to be out and be the fastest car out there. However, not very many cars come with 700 horsepower and are fast on the street. So I think, and I've always told people this, they always tell me, or they always ask me, why'd you sell your Hellcat? Why'd you sell your Hellcat? Well, I sold my Hellcat because I could only do a few more things before I would A, need to upgrade the motor, B, probably upgrade the blower, or C, yeah, I just wouldn't go that much faster. You know, you want to get a Hellcat or a Hellcat Red Eye or a Demon to run low nines. It's very easy, very easy. Demons, upper, lower, E85 injectors, possibly a Kenny Bell booster pump, and some other few small minor mods, and you could be running low nines consistently. Now you throw some nitrous on top of that, you could be running eights. However, to get any faster than that, it ain't gonna happen. The fastest Hellcat in the world has gone sevens, but he also is on drag pack suspension. It's not really a street car anymore. It's got a huge freaking 4.9 liter Kenny Bell with meth injection. It's got nitrous. It's got a faceplated transmission. I mean, it's a race car. Now, people may comment down below, say what you will, but that Hellcat is miles beyond any Hellcat that is, you know, right behind him in time. So there's his car going mid to high sevens, and then the next guy is running like high eights. So there is a huge gap, and the reason for that is because it's very hard to get these huge cars going fast. But I will still say this, if you want a 9-second true daily driver, I still think the Hellcats are the best cars to get. And if, you know, you're just looking for something that's 500 horsepower just to drive around town, I still think the Scat Pack or the SRT 392 is a very good option. I mean, to me, these are really good looking cars. Like this bumper on the Charger, like I really, really enjoy the style of the Charger, and I think that's why they haven't changed it since, you know, whenever this first gen came out in 2015 or whatever year it was. The headlights look super good. Look at this. Very similar to the Hellcat headlights. You get this really nice Hellcat headlight style on a cheaper car. Obviously, the Hellcat bulb is just a little bit different. It doesn't have this piece right here. But you get this really nice style headlight on a $40,000 car. You get, you know, sub 500 horsepower. you're still getting leather seats. Obviously, they've got the Alcantara on the inside, but you still get a nice touchscreen. I mean, it is a nice, well-equipped car for the money. And I will still always say that if people ask me, like, what's the best daily driver? Because the thing is, here's the thing. You could buy a Mustang. If you want to take the 4-door out of it and you want to get a 2-door car, you could buy a Mustang. You can make it 500 wheel horsepower really easily. They're not as comfortable as a Challenger. They're definitely a lot lighter. They're definitely quicker. But now, with the used market of the Hellcats dropping in like the 40 to 50 range, it makes it pretty hard to go buy a brand new Mustang. Now, you can get a used Mustang for like 26 to 28,000, sometimes low 30s if you want a premium. But you can spend $10,000 more and have a car that has 700 horsepower reliably with a warranty. See, that's the thing you got to remember. When you start fixing up cars, you lose the warranty. And I think that's the coolest thing and the biggest draw to the Mopar community is that I could have an 840 horsepower Demon, a 797 horsepower car, a 707 horsepower car with a warranty. So you're telling me I could buy a 4-door Charger with 707 horsepower and have a warranty and not even need to mod it. Whereas other vehicles, they have to mod them to keep up with these stock cars that have warranties. So you really comes down to decision, do you want to have a warranty or not have a warranty? I don't care about warranties. You know me. You've seen my Mustang. So I just thought I'd make a little video on this car. I still think these 392s, I might go for the SRT 392 over the Scat Pack just for the larger brakes, adjustable suspension, few other odds and ends that come on that versus just the Scat Pack. But I still think these cars, like, you know, sub $45,000 cars are a really, really good buy. And I think in my future, I might spare for a Hellcat version, but I definitely think if I needed a 4-door car, I would definitely have a Charger in my garage. One of the best daily drivers. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Just want to throw something a little different in there to break up some of the Mustang content, but we are moving and making waves on the Mustang content. More coming tomorrow. If you guys don't know, hit the subscribe button. I've got a Turbo 400 custom single turbo 2018 brand new Mustang GT we've kind of lost our minds with, but it's awesome. It's coming along. If you guys want to follow that journey, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Instagram and Snapchat, Vanby39. I'll see you guys on the next one.